Hi, I'm DJ Ware. On this episode of the Cyber Gizmo, I wanted to take a look at Ubuntu Desktop 25.04. I promised that I would come back and do a near complete video on this. So there's some bad news here. I mean, this people have been worrying about this kind of thing for a while, and so it's happened. And System D257 brings it to light. So what's going on here? What does this actually say? So it's no longer built with utemp support. Utemp is the user temporary log, which manages sessions on a normal Linux system. So utilities like who and other kinds of utilities that monitor who does what on your system no longer work because utemp is gone. Yeah, W works because that's part of the log D function, which is the system D replacement. Among other things, this means that systemd's default user lib temp file .d and systemd.conf no longer creates a runtime for utemp. Also, you will notice that you may find, especially if you're running virtual machines, that your /sys/devices/CPU is missing. And that could be because you're running an incompatible kernel. It could just be an oversight in the code. I mean, my God, there hasn't been any bugs in systemd ever. So while it does seem to work on hardware, however, but you are still relying on systemd to provide the information to those utilities, which it is policy-based. There's a number of other things that have taken place here. So tools such as W from Pro CPS package have support for systemd. Other tools like Who from Core Utilities do not. So anything that's using utemp is not going to function anymore. So support for System 5 service scripts are deprecated. So if you have any System 5 scripts that are still launching services, they will no longer work. As of 258, that's the next release that's coming. So what they didn't tell you is that by setting the CPU, things like setting the CPU scheduler through the /sys mechanisms, they'll no longer work. Same with the CPU governor. You'll no longer find any systems parts that are stored in there that you can grab onto to change the governor. So you're relying completely on power profiles, power profiles control, which is a systemd function to handle that for you. Also, there is eBPF modules that are now in the kernel that provide direct interface to systemd. So, yeah, I can see this growing into a telemetry map where you won't even know what the hell's going on your system. Trying to find out what eBPF is actually doing and what's running in it is very difficult to find out at best. And to be able to monitor what data is passing, especially when it's in binary, yeah, you'll never know. Also, by the way, any memory, any encrypted values that you may be relying on, remember, encryption is only functional when the data is at rest or it's in transit. It doesn't mean that if it's being used in memory, it can't be seen. What a perfect way to trap and put spyware into the kernel through eBPF to allow them to extract even more data about you. Yeah, so setting the CPU governor is no longer possible. This is what I got when I went to run my command under a VM under Proxmox was, all right, so this is the command that I would normally use from the command line. And this is, I don't know if I have fast fetch installed. So you can see that this is running 25.04. And it is running under a VM, KVM, KMU. That should be the first clue, and then the next one is the device tree. So yeah, there's some unknown devices here, but the one thing that bothers me is that it shows balance mode, which is currently the setting, which is the asterisk. Power saver is the other one. Now I can set this, that's not a problem. But let me show you. Let me show you the real problem here. Now in my system here, you'll notice that CPU should be right there, right under devices. And of course, it's not. It's gone. Also in var log, you'll notice that we don't have a utemp. None. No, I have unattended, but not utemp. So if I type in who, oh, look, it doesn't work. There's nothing coming back. Now, W does talk to login D or login control. So if I do a login control, and we'll do a help. In case, I don't know if you guys use this or not. I don't. Pottering doesn't understand Unix. Unix is you don't want as many characters as possible to make up a command. You want as few as possible. And that includes things like this too. You know, this is COBOL. So yeah, and you can get that. So that's the sessions, and you can also get the user list as well. There we go. Yeah, it is cluing me. But the other problem was this. Okay, so let's do lsmod. I'll do a sort on it, and then a more. And you should see CPU frequency in here or governor. One of the two. You might see one of the two of them. It's not there. Mod info. Okay, so it's there. All right, so let's mod probe it. So, all right, let's try that again. It shouldn't be coming back. Okay, see that? That if I do an echo $? What does it gives? It says it successfully installed the mod. All right, did it? No. That should be returning an error, not telling me that it is successfully. If somebody could walk away and go, well, gosh, that worked. Oh, I'm done. And without ever checking to see if it actually put it in here or not. And of course it didn't. So that indicates to me that it's already been compiled into the kernel because that's what it says. If I do, I'm giving you a free lesson here. See that built in right there? That says it's been compiled into the kernel, but a policy is blocking it from being used. Now, that might be a blacklist. I don't know, but I doubt it. I bet you this is, let's see. Nothing. So yeah, that's the policy, and that's inside his code. I doubt that he has that exposed. I bet you that's all inside the code. Even if it is, I don't know. You have to read through miles of documentation on systemd to understand what the hell it's doing. Unix and Linux together was intended to be straightforward. The ability for users to easily modify and change the configuration on the system any way they wanted to. In any shape, way, or form that they wanted to. So, what does this kind of thing do? Well, it puts everything in the hands of a few developers to grant us the ability to be able to modify and change and use our systems as we see fit. I don't want to be reliant on some 50 million line piece of code that is taking over one step at a time. Systemd is not stopping. It was designed initially just to replace init, and then it grew to more and more and more, and it continues to go more. At the rate of expansion that Systemd is having, I'm guessing within 3 to 6 years there will be nothing left of the original Linux. And that Pottering will have everything under his thumb, and it'll just be called Leonard. We'll just call it Leonard, and that's what it'll be. So, if that's the direction you want, then use this and promote it. I'm not. I'm going to chuck this here. Let me show you what I'm planning to do with it. In fact, I'm going to do that right now, right now. All right, let me just show you what my intention is to do here. So, first of all, there's the, yeah, I'm not even shutting it down gracefully. I don't even care. Goodbye. It's slow. It's down. I'm just going to go up here to, this is how I'm voting for it. As soon as it comes back, there we go. And we're just going to do this. There's my vote on Ubuntu 25.04. Bye-bye, off my system. I'm not showing you the benchmarks. There's no point. I mean, I'm not recommending this thing. That's the original lolcat. That's Felix the cat. He was a black and white film, a cartoon character from 1910. He made an appearance in Austin. Before there was South by Southwest, there was a light show that occurred around that same time of year. And in 1998, Felix he broke the law. He broke a light trespass law in Austin. What was going on was a bunch of people with projectors and computers would go downtown in Austin, and they would project artwork on the side of buildings. And some of it was pretty awesome. One night I was on See You See Me with a bunch of people, and one of the guys named Squeak also was involved in this artwork display in downtown Austin. So he set up a See You See Me feed and allowed us to watch, and it was amazing to see this thing happening. So yeah. Felix made a brief appearance on one of the buildings. That's all I had for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope to see you next time.